الله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خاتم الأنبياء والسيد المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. We praise and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing us with an opportunity to come together and to sit and try to digest from His word. In our last session, we did up to ayah 20, and so inshallah we'll continue today from ayah 21. Inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وقال الذي اشتراه من مصر لامرأته أكرمي مثواه عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض لنعلمه من تأويل الأحاديث والله غالب على أمره ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. ولما بلغ أشده آتيناه حكما وعلما وكذلك نجزي المحسنين. وراودته التي هو في بيتها عن نفسه وغلقت الأبواب وقالت هيت لك قال معاذ الله إنه ربي أحسن مثواي إنه لا يفلح الظالمون. Okay. The translation reads, the man from Egypt who bought him said to his wife, make his stay comfortable. Maybe he will profit us, or we shall adopt him as a son. Thus did we establish Yusuf in the land, that we might teach him the interpretation of events. And Allah has power and control over his affairs, but most men know not. And when he attained full manhood, we gave him wisdom and knowledge. Thus we reward the doers of good. And she, the Aziz wife, in whose house he sought to seduce him. And she closed the doors and said, come on, O you. He said, I seek refuge in Allah. Truly, He is my master. He made my living a great comfort, so I will never betray him. Verily, the Zalimeen, the evildoers, will never be successful. So the story continues with Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam and the caravan who took him over, and when they went to Egypt, they offered him up for sale. They offered him up for sale in Egypt in the marketplace, and they said that that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala determined that some person of prominence will purchase Yusuf. And so the person who purchased him, said that he was the minister, chief minister in the government of Egypt. He was responsible for the storehouses and what have you. He was like today we would call the minister of finance. And he was, so he had a prominent position in the government. He was some person of importance. And so he is the one who purchased Yusuf, because he was enamored by Yusuf when he saw him. Allah placed that thing in his heart for Yusuf, and he purchased Yusuf. And of course, Yusuf, as Allah inspired something in him concerning Yusuf. So when you look, he didn't consider Yusuf like a slave, even though he purchased him from the slave market. He did not look at Yusuf as a slave. So he took him home and he said to his wife, take good care of him. Take good care of him. Because he might, you might benefit from him. He might bring some benefit. Right? Because he didn't see him as a slave that they treated him like that. The Talmud and the speaks a little different about it, because they present use of both the Bible and the Talmud produce use at that point that he was 18 years old or older. But the Quranic story, Yusuf was still a young boy when they sold him in Egypt. He was not a man. He was a young boy, right? The Talmudic and Christian sources said that he was about 18 years old. So when the Aziz bought him, the minister whose title was Aziz, that was his title, that he put him, he was impressed by Yusuf, and so by his intelligence and stuff like that, and so he put him in charge of his household, put him in charge of the stores and his household and everything. But that is the position. So he told her, but he was a boy at that time, so he told her, take good care of him, look out for him, make him stay comfortable, make him, comfortable in staying here. Make him comfortable, he feel comfortable staying here. Look out for him, in other words. And he says, this is what he said, that, he might be we might benefit from it, or perhaps we can even adopt him as a son. Because it said that the Aziz, he didn't have any children, right? He didn't have any son, and there's a lot of stories about that. We don't have any clear proofs on it. So he says, that perhaps we can take him as a son. We can take him, we can adopt him as a son. And so, this is based on what he potentially recognizing Yusuf. Looking at Yusuf, he can see he was like no ordinary slave boy, right? So he looked at Yusuf in a different manner, and so he thought that he could bring some benefit. We can benefit from him, and so that is the case. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala closed the ayah by saying, he said, Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. Right? Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. Right? But as it goes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, so from this ayah, this part of the ayah, it helps us to understand the beginning, the early part of the ayah. Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. And Allah was in full charge of his affairs, doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to do. So that all this that is taking place was under the direction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it was not chance happening. It was not chance happening. The brothers then put him in the well by chance, instead of killing him, which was really what they wanted to do, right? They wanted to kill him, right? But by Allah's permission and Allah's direction, no, they put him in the well, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala led the caravan to the well for them to take him to Egypt, and to establish, and then Allah establishes him in Egypt. Right? So this is all under the direction of Allah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intends a thing, then nobody can stop it. Right? La mu'akkab li hukmihi. Nobody can stop Allah's decree. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decree, we know this was Allah's decree, that Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam be established as a prophet in Egypt. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in place the means by which this will take place. And no one could have changed it. No one could have changed what Allah decided in relation to Yusuf alayhi salam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him, was in control of the affairs. So he made it so that a person of stature in Egypt would pursue. He didn't just go into some low level kind of position. He moves into a high position, the house of the Aziz. He's the chief minister for all the stores of Egypt. There's a big position. A big position. So he goes into the house of the Aziz, and the Aziz take him, see him like a son. He can adopt him like a son. So he doesn't treat him like a regular, he treat him like a slave. He treated him well, honorably, and with good conduct. Take care of him, look after him, make him stay comfortable. So this, all this is part of Allah's plan for Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam, right? That he be there. And so Allah says, كَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ لَكَ. Thus we established Yusuf in the land of Egypt. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that establishment came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was not by accident that Yusuf wound up in the house of the Aziz. So that he enters the Egyptian society, not here, but here. Right? He enters the Egyptian society here as opposed to there. Like an ordinary slave would enter. Right? Yeah, the slave is at the bottom of the social realm. He's at the bottom of the social ladder. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not enter Yusuf into Egyptian society and the lowest rung of the ladder. He enters Yusuf into Egyptian society from the upper level of society. So he's in a house of respect, and he's treated with respect. And this is all part of the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah says, we establish in the land so that that we might teach him the interpretation of events, of dreams, or that people present, that he will be able to teach these in this. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was predominant over his affairs. And this is, the scholars said, this is a statement that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes to bring tasleem, to bring a comfort to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that just as Allah can direct the affairs of Yusuf and bring him out of this in this manner, same way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do it for you. So don't worry. Your situation, it might look bad because the Quraysh, is giving Prophet a hard time. But don't mind that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can change it. Allah can flip it like that, because Allah has the power to do so. Allah is in charge of the affairs. It is important that while it might be specific in the case of Yusuf, the principle is general. Right? The principle is general to cover even us. So that we need always to, no matter what the circumstance, when we depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah can change the situation. When you put your full trust in Allah, Allah suffices you. You don't have to worry about that. So this is a situation we should always keep in mind, that Allah is in charge. Nothing happens outside of the grasp of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always in charge of the affairs. Always in charge of the affairs. And we need to put our trust and turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can change the situation as He wants. Right? And just like Allah said, وَلَكِنْ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Most people do not come to this understanding. Most people don't know or have the knowledge or understanding that Allah is always in charge. He's always in charge. So when we see things happening, that we ourselves might not comprehend, and we say, this is serious. Why is this happening? To the point that some people actually believe, that Almighty God, Allah, He's not paying attention to what's happening in the world. With all this craziness and evilness going on. You know, I actually heard one person say, God turned his back on the world. Yeah, I've heard people make that step. God turned his back on the world. You know, he's not paying attention to it. You know, but I mean, that is a very silly comment, and it's an ignorant comment. It shows that people don't have no idea who Almighty God is. It means you don't have no knowledge of who Almighty God is. Because you don't understand the wisdom, doesn't mean you can, that it is wrong. You just don't understand the wisdom. Because as I said, we only understand and comprehend events from reflection. We are not a people with that great degree of foresight. And that is because our knowledge of reality is limited. Our knowledge of reality is limited. So we don't know the future. And because we don't know the future, you know, when we look at things, we might see a bleak outcast. But that bleak outcast might be the reason why things turn out good. You know, it says, Allah is busy every day with creating and doing stuff in His creation. He's busy every day. Allah don't take rest. He don't relax. He don't take it easy. Allah is busy every day. Allah says. Right? Which of the favors of your Lord you want to do? Allah is always busy. Allah is always checking. He's watching everything. He's seeing everything. He knows what is going on. It's not that He don't know about it. He knows about it. And we might see it as a calamity. And we don't know why He allowed that calamity. But then people start to blame Him. Why? But very often, sometimes, you know, as Allah, the Quran sets a lot of understanding in relation to this. Sometimes calamity comes as a result of our own hands. Right? As a result of our own doing. Our own hand. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس. Corruption and evil is spread over land and sea as a result of man's handiwork. As a result of man's handiwork. And so Allah subhanahu you can't drink poison and not expect to die. You can't drink poison and not expect to die, knowing that it is poison. Right? That is not putting your using your knowledge as Almighty God give you. No, you don't drink it. By accident you drink it, you know, Almighty God indeed agree for that to happen, then He can save you from it. But if you drink it knowingly and deliberately, you know, to say that, you know, Allah should not let you die as a result of it is silly. Why do you drink it? It's like shooting yourself in your head and don't expect that it can blow your brains out. You know, God should stop my brains from being blown out, even though I shoot myself in the head. It's silly, it's stupid. That's silly reasoning. No. Yes, you can get shot in you can get shot and don't die. Right? But for you to actually do it and then expect that Allah can save you. You jump off the cliff and expect that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can stop you from getting hurt. This is silly. That's not really trusting Allah. People think that's trusting God. That's not trusting Allah. You know, you step inside the lions, then you put down the lion's cage, and not expect him to rip the arm off. God is going to protect you. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. Trust in God is not by doing foolish stuff or doing crazy stuff. That is not trust in God. Trust in God is by utilizing all the means, the proper and logical means that He placed at your disposal. And when you have done everything that you can do, then you put your trust in Allah to take you over the hump. That is putting your trust in Allah. You did everything. It's like the individual, the student. He don't study, he don't do anything. But when time for the exam now, he can pray and put trust in Allah that in God that he can get a good result in his exam. You don't do nothing. You don't prepare for nothing. You made no preparation for it. Right? So to say, I trust in that God can make me successful, and you do nothing at all, that's not trust. That is not trust. That is negligence and carelessness. So if you fail, if you fail, Allah just let you taste the results of your own actions. Yeah, it's possible that Almighty God, Allah will may allow you to still pass. Because maybe He got something special or something that's planned for you. But if He let you fail, it's not because that you did right. No, you failed because you did wrong. You're the one who precipitated that. And if He make you successful, it's not because you did anything, it's because He got a different plan. He has a different plan. He's in charge, He got a different plan. He wants you to move from here to there. So this is reality so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us sometimes to feel the consequences of our actions. Sometimes He do not protect us from ourselves. He allow us to taste the consequences. يَذُوقُ وَبَالَ أَمْرِهِمْ, that we might taste some of the consequences of our actions. So Allah allows this. Because if people don't taste the consequences of their actions, then they continue to do crazy stuff. They do crazy stuff. So you have to taste sometimes the consequences, and the individual might be able to correct themselves from this. Right? So once any matter happen, it happened by the permission of Almighty God. Whether it is something pleasing or something not pleasing, whether it's something that we perceive as good or something that we perceive as bad, as long as it happened by the permission of Allah, because had not Almighty God permitted it to happen, it could not have happened. It could not have happened. Nothing, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Nothing cannot happen except by the express permission of Almighty God Allah. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permits some things to happen that we might consider as bad or harmful. And so, but because we do not, know the wisdom behind it, because we don't know the wisdom behind it, then, because it might not be revealed to many times after. Like Noah alayhi salatu wasalam, he's a prophet. Noah is telling his son, come on, get on, get aboard. Didn't he argue with his son, argue with it? Alright? Wahala by human motion, wave come and swallow them up. Noah, of course, didn't know that his son is on the other side. You understand? He didn't know that. So, he turned to Allah, my son, you told me my family in a haq. You promised that you can take care, that you can save me and my family, but he's my son. Allah subhanahu said, yeah, no, he's not your son. Like his deeds are evil. Right? His deeds, he's an evil person. His deeds are evil. He's on the other side. He's not with you. Right? So here, Noah alayhi salatu wasalam did have the foresight of understanding because he didn't know his son was on the other side. But so his humanness calls out, oh Allah, you promised, because Allah promised to save him and his family. This is my son, he's from my family. Your promise is true, but that's my son. What happened? So Allah says, no, he ain't your son. Look at his deeds, look at his actions, how he was. He's not from you. He's not of you. Yeah, he is from you as your son, yes, but he's not of you. Amalan ghayru salih. But any a'iduka, and I warn you so that you should not exhort you not to become of those who are ignorant. And Noah says, Allah, forgive me, right? Forgive me, and let me not be among the ignorant ones. So, no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but this is hindsight. Noah now understand. He understood because the order for destruction was for all the evil people, all the disbelievers. So even though he was from Noah's sons, Noah's family, he was one of the evildoers. So the punishment was for all the evildoers. Allah was only saving the righteous ones, and he was not righteous. But Noah didn't understand because of the knowledge level at that point. Now as I'm saying, I'll explain to him. He understood. Understand? It's like saying, Allah, I stand corrected. Forgive me. I stand corrected. Forgive me. Now he understands. All right? But at the moment, it's a calamity. Watch your son drown. It's a calamity right away, So it's sometimes things, and we do not know the wisdom why Allah allowed that to happen. So that's why at that point it's important to be patient till Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals the whole story to you. Then you will say, oh, okay, all right, I understand. That was good. Right? Disappointment, calamities, what have you. It's always important. Check yourself first to make sure that, I precipitated this. All right? First thing when a calamity and disappointment and stuff like that happens, the first thing we do is check yourself. Check yourself to make sure that you didn't precipitate it. Because it might be just a response or reaction. Every action, they said, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. This is what the people call it karma. Right? An equal and opposite reaction to whatever it is. So if it's good, there's a good result. If it's bad, there's a bad result. That's it. All right? That's how the universe works. All right? So sometimes you do a bad action, but Allah protect you from it. He will protect you from the results of it by His own wisdom. He said, don't drink. Person drink and get drunk. You go fall in the street. Allah sends somebody to take him up before the car hit him out. Or the car coming out of the car, swear him off and don't run him over. All right? So it's not because of anything from him. You understand? Because he did what is going to bring his own destruction. But Allah saved him from himself. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might have something as planned for him. So but it's wisdom. Only Allah knows the future events. So Allah is always ghalibun ala amrihi. Allah is always in control of whatever's going on. And nothing can stop His order from taking place. We should always keep this in mind and understand that. وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. And when he reached his age of maturity, after he reached or attained full maturity or full manhood, we give him knowledge, we give him judgment and knowledge. We give him the judgment and knowledge. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed that Yusuf be a prophet in Egypt. That was his decree. Yusuf was selected as one of the prophets because the prophets were selected long before. So Yusuf was destined by Allah to become a prophet, right? To be a prophet. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put all the necessary things in place, right? To establish him in this role. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you know, that so from every step in the life of Yusuf was towards this. And so when Yusuf reached full age of maturity, and scholars put different names, but age, 30, 40, what have you. And of course the Talmudic position is that it was 18. Allah knows best. Allah knows best. What was the age? What the age was as for maturity? And it was 18, whether it was 20, whether it was 30, whether it was 40. Allah knows best, right? When he grew up and became of full age, really, that's what I think. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Ataynahu hukman." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him knowledge and the ability, to judge. He gave him wisdom and the ability to be judicious in his judgment and his decision making. He gave him the ability to be judicious in his dealings and in his judgment concerning matters. So he can decide in a balanced manner. And he gave him knowledge. So he has wisdom and judiciousness and knowledge of deen, how to function. So Allah and the scholars say that this meant that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevated him to the status of prophethood at that point. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevated him to the status of prophethood. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. And thus do we recompense the doers of good, the muhsinin. And Yusuf alayhi salam was a muhsin, right? He was a muhsin. And so being a prophet. So Allah says, in such manner, just how we did with Yusuf, this is a general principle for the prophet, for all of us, everyone is a general principle. Things like this in the Quran, when you find it, it might be specific to a particular person, but the ruling comes general, right? To everyone. Any muhsin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is how Allah will deal with you. Just like He dealt with him, He will do it for you, Muhammad, He will do it for anybody else. As long as you're muhsin. Muhsin. Not muhsin. Muhsin. Yeah, muhsin, not muhsin. Muhsin means a righteous person. Right? A righteous person. One who practices righteousness. Right? The practitioners of righteousness. Right? There's the muhsin. That's why we're supposed to arrive, that is the level that we all should go to. Right? This is the highest level, the next level of deen. The highest level of deen. The first level of deen is Islam. Right? The first level of deen is Islam. Surrender. Right? First level is surrender. Surrender to Allah. And you make the effort and you move to the level of mu'min. So you're Muslim, then by effort and striving and doing what you're supposed to do after surrendering, then you move to the level of mu'min, because now iman takes root in your heart and it starts to grow, and to contain you, and to direct your actions, how you function. Right? Direct your actions, how to function. So that's why it's important for us to learn our deen. It's not enough just to take shahada, we got to learn the deen too. Right? Because you're not going to excel unless you learn. Right? So we got to learn the deen once we come into the deen. And many brothers and sisters come into deen, and once they got their fundamentals, they know to pray, and that's it, story finished. They learn 2 surahs at the end of it. They don't make any further effort to improve themselves and learn their knowledge and learn their deen. But no, we should always make that striving, because that is not the end of it. Right? By constant effort as a believer, and you doing what you're supposed to, persistence and sincerity and truthfulness, you're able to elevate yourself to the highest level, which is muhsin. Right? Excellence. Because Islamic standard is excellence. Ihsan. That is the standard in Islam. Excellence in everything. Excellence is not just only in worship and ibadah, but excellence in everything. Inna Allah kadab al-ihsan ala kulli shay. According to the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Verily Allah decreed ihsan, excellence for everything. So even if you're going to kill an animal, make sure that your blade is extremely sharp, so you make it easy on the animal. Right? When you slaughter the animal, make sure it's easy for me. So Islam is the most humane way of slaughtering an animal, because it makes sure that the animal life leaves the animal quickly without the animal suffering. The animal don't suffer. Yes, that's why we kill animal this way. And that way, the animal also is purified better, because all the blood is drained from the body. So it doesn't have blood sitting in the animal, because all the diseases sits in the blood. The diseases of the body sits in your blood. All right. So if we not sit in the body, we sit in the animal, and it seeps into the flesh of the body. It is not as pure. That's why you find the meat that is slaughtered, that's not slaughtered, that is not zabiha, is not slaughtered according to the Islamic rites, according to the correct way. You find that it spoils quickly, because blood breaks down like that. You leave it there, it breaks down quite quick. So because the meat is full of blood, it spoils quickly. But if you do it correctly, that meat can stay there for a long time without spoiling. It can stay there for a long time without spoiling, because it doesn't have the blood to make it break down that fast. All right? So, muhsin is the highest level. And we all should strive after ihsan, because that is the highest standard. I know we as Muslims, we have become so accustomed to mediocrity that we think it is excellent. So we applaud mediocrity. But no, the standard is not mediocre. The standard is excellence, not mediocrity. It's excellence. So we should all, because excellence means that you're always striving to do better. That's what excellence is, because you're always striving to excel. So you gotta always be making the extra effort if you want to excel. So excellence means you're always striving to do better. You always try to take it the next. Always take the next. All right. So excellence is not a destination that you arrive at. Excellence is a journey. Right? Excellence is a journey. You're always moving. Right? As opposed to, I arrive, excellence, and now I'm good. No. Okay? So we always, and this covered every aspect of being. Your character, your conduct, your behavior, your relationship, your whatever. Always your ibadah, everything. Right? That is the Islamic standard. Excellence is the ibadah, So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, says, ihsan. That is the standard. So when the individual elevates himself to the level of ihsan, then he becomes a muhsin. And Allah says, this is how we recompense or reward the muhsin. We always give him something good. Hal ihsanu illa al ihsan. And so he says in Surah Rahman, Hal jaza'u al ihsan illa al ihsan. Of course, is the reward for excellence other than being excellent. No, they were this out. Al jaza' min al jaza' min jinsi amal. So you do good, you get good. If you do excellent, you will get excellence. You will excel. It's serious. The reward is always commensurate to what you put in. So in other words, what you put in, you take out. What you put in, you take out. Many people want to take out, but they don't want to put in. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If you want to take out a lot, you put in a lot. Yes. Right? وَمَا لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. And man gets only that for which he strives. A man gets only that for which he strives. The Quran is very straightforward and explains all the basic principles. Right? So Allah says, كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Thus do we reward the muhsinin. Let's quickly see if we can finish this next ayah before we wrap up. وراودته التي هو في بيتها عن نفسه وغلقت الأبواب. And she, that is the woman in which house he lived, she was the wife of the Aziz, in whose house he lived, sought to seduce him. وغلقت الأبواب. So she locked the doors and said, قالت هيت لك. Come, come to me, come. And Yusuf alayhi salam respond, قال معاذ الله. Yusuf immediately sought refuge in Allah. Right? Allah forbade. Yusuf sought refuge in Allah. Sought refuge in Allah. May Allah protect me. Allah, yeah. And this is what we should always, whenever we are faced with stuff like this, generally, we seek refuge in Allah. Right? And this is, as a very important, because such cunning is from shaitan. Anytime you say cunning like this, you know that shaitan is the one who's pushing this fire. Anytime you see stuff like this, when, in this case, is shaitan is using this woman to try to get Yusuf into evil stuff. He's trying to use this woman to get him to do the wrong thing. All right? So immediately, you seek refuge because Allah says, "Imma yanzaghannaka min ash-shaytani fasta'id billah." Anytime you feel the prompting of the shaitan, seek refuge in Allah. Because only Allah has the power to safeguard and protect you from the spears and arrows of the shaitan. Only Allah can put an armor around you so that the spears and the spears and arrows of the shaitan don't penetrate to you. So we say, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." So you seek refuge with Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put an armor around you, story finished. Allah put an armor around you, khalas, they can't penetrate. That's what the Prophet also says, in the bathroom or places like in the devils hang around there because they love dirty places. So when you go, you seek refuge. You seek refuge. Allah min ya'udhu min al-khubthi wal Come back. He says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects you. Right? He protects you from their gaze and from their messing with you. Right? So Islam teaches us these fundamental things that how we can defend and protect ourselves. Because the thing is, we cannot see the shayateen. We can't see them. We know that they exist. We know that they're there, but we cannot see them because they're from the world of the unseen. Right? And of course, we believe in the world of the unseen. Even if some people say, well, I don't see it, I don't believe it. Because they say, seeing is believing. Yeah, that's what they say. Seeing is believing. But you can't believe everything your eyes see. Right? You can't believe everything your eyes see because sometimes you don't see right. You know, when you're in the desert and you're thirsty, you see a mirage. You see the mirage, but it ain't real. Right? So your eyes play tricks on you sometimes. All right? They play tricks on you sometimes. So the reality is not limited only to what you can see. And anyone who depends only on the vision, the physical vision, to comprehend or understand reality or to accept reality, that person is extremely limited. That person is indeed extremely limited because there's so many forces at work outside of your peripheral vision. So many forces at work outside of your peripheral vision. So you think that because you're alone, that you alone exists and nobody else? Huh? Nobody but you? You don't know who there. Yes. So this one that Islam teach the believer, teach the person as part of your system of beliefs that you believe alladhina yu'minuna bil qalb, you believe in the unseen realities. That reality is not limited to your perception, but reality extends beyond your sense perception of sight. Reality extends beyond your sense perception of sight. And Islam embraced it. So the individual embraced it. And the Quran teaches about the jinn. It teaches about the angels. Yeah, we can't see them. But because we can't see them, we don't deny them. We can't deny them. I don't see it, so I don't believe it. That's what people, that's a lot of people like that. I don't see it, I don't believe it. Because seeing is believing. All right? So the reality is not in accordance with reality, because reality is not limited to what we can see or what we know. It's limited to what you know or what you can see. Reality lies way beyond that, because what you know of reality, what you and I know of reality, is less than what we don't know, and we should always keep that in mind. What we know of reality is less than what we don't know. And even what we know of reality, right? Even what we know of reality, you know, is less. Yes. It's infinitesimal. Our knowledge is infinitesimal compared to reality. Just look at the universe will tell you. You know, you look around, you know, we see with our sight, we see the sun. Sun is 93 million miles away. Huh? The sun is 93 million miles away. You see it looking like a little dot in the sky. Right? And we can't, you know, we will look at night when they get dark, we look, we can see the Mars. We can see Mars because Mars is the closest planet to us. Mars is the closest. And look, a little star. When we look at it in the night, and look, a little star. It's the closest planet to us that we can see with our naked eye. Right? You gotta get telescope to look at the other ones. Because the other ones are so far. Because the planets, they're so far. And this is only in our solar system. This is only in our solar system. That you cannot travel, you can't reach to the outer ends of the solar system. Because our solar system, it said that our solar system is 150 to 175,000 light years across. There's 150,000 light years across. That is the distance of our solar system. So if you want to travel from one end to the next, it will take you 150 million light years. And a light year is how much time it takes light to travel in a year. Distance that light travels in a year. And light travels at 186,000 miles per second. Right? Light travels at 186,000 miles per second. And this is how much distance light travels in a year at 186,000 miles per second. And we see light sometimes of stars that are already dead. The scientists, the cosmologists, we see stars, light sometimes from stars that is already dead. The light now reach us, but the star done dead already. And the light now reaches us, but it already gone. They're not dead. That's how far I am. We can imagine. And you got and if our galaxy is 150,000 light years across. And this is just a small galaxy. Look at, you got the other galaxy. How many galaxies? The Orion galaxy, or the Andromeda galaxy, or you can go on and on and on and on. We can't even imagine. We can't imagine. Because we can't even see beyond. We can only see so far. Even with the Hubble telescope. Yeah, the Hubble telescope, which they put up in space, we're able to see much farther into the universe. So it's showing the distant stars that so far away from us. With the Hubble telescope. But still you can only see so far. We gotta depend on the electronic telescope that they have in Palomar. And the radio telescope that they have. And then they hear sounds even from beyond that they can't even see. You can hear sounds from beyond that we can't even see, that cannot really be seen because they're too far to be seen. We have no equipment to happen to see where those sounds coming from. We have no equipment to see where they're coming from. This is reality. But we believe that they're there. So we believe, and they believe that this universe is still expanding. So if the universe is expanding from the initial, they said there's the initial bang element. This says that, it grows out from how the Tesla, you drop a pebble in the water, you travel in the water, it sends out ripples. It goes out to the end, and when it hit the end, started to come back in again, because that's why they believe that the earth is the universe is going to collapse on itself eventually. Allah knows best. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that stuff. But the point I'm saying is that there's so much stuff that lies beyond our ability to see. So if we only depend on what we can see, then we're in trouble, definitely. Quran says, no, you just can't depend on your sight and hearing and stuff like that, because it goes beyond. Sometimes we see stuff that is not even there. Because our mind something play tricks on us, hallucinate or something like that, and we see stuff that is not even there. All right? So you can't depend on your senses only to interpret or to understand reality. Reality is much bigger than our ability to comprehend it. And that's all Islam is teaching us. Don't limit yourself to your limits. Don't limit yourself to your limitations. Let yourself and your mind and your understanding go beyond your limitations, because things exist beyond your ability to understand or comprehend. So you're like that, rather than like this. Which is better, this or that? You see much more like this than when you do it like that. Islam is fantastic, man. Islam is, sorry I got off on that stuff. That stuff doesn't really get to me sometimes. You know, sorry for that. And so she came after Yusuf alayhi salam. Yeah? She came after Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, and to deflect it from her, he seek refuge in Allah. To deflect her thing, because she set her eyes on him. Right? She set her eyes on Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. And Yusuf alayhi salam was a very handsome man. You know, there's a saying, hadith that says that he got half of the beauty was given to Yusuf. Half of beauty was given to Yusuf. You know, oh, come on, God. So if he had half of the beauty and then the rest was distributed among the people, the rest was distributed among the people, and he got half. Now if you get half, I mean, you know, if the half was distributed among the people, and you see some beautiful people, man. You see some people, you know what I mean, like, you know, they blow your mind. You can't imagine a person can be so beautiful. All right? So beautiful. You look at little babies, some little babies, you know, and you see them kids, I mean, and they blow your mind. They're so beautiful. Right? They're so beautiful. And there's half of the beauty then distributed among all of them. And let's just imagine Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. And one of the things that the Prophet taught us, you know, which inshallah, you know, we pray, you know, and so forth, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Rasulullah says that there's a report that said that everybody who go to Jannah will on the surah of Yusuf. Will have the beauty of Yusuf. Allah will give us the beauty of Yusuf to everybody. So everybody will be beautiful like Yusuf, and simple like Yusuf. Yeah, inshallah. May Allah put us on. Amen. All right. We can be the statue of Adam. Right? We can be the statue of Adam and the surah of Yusuf. Statue of we can be like like that. Huge. Huge like that, like Adam. And we can be handsome like Yusuf on his man. All right? May Allah make it easy for us and grant us all the Jannah. And so she sets her sights on Yusuf, on him. The Talmud says, you know, from that the wife of the Aziz in Egypt, that her name was Zelika or Zulika or something like that. Zulika, right? Or Zelika, something like that. They said the name is. So that name has become part of the popular folklore of Muslims, especially from Indo-Pak. You know, as a folk, you know, become part of the Muslim folklore. And there is even a popular belief, and as part of that folklore, is the popular belief that Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam actually married to her at a later stage. Of course, this belief has no basis. This belief that Yusuf actually married to her afterwards has absolutely no basis, not in any of the Islamic authoritative sources, and even in non-Muslim sources, the Talmud and Christian sources and stuff like that. There's nothing that says that, but it's part of the folklore that people have developed this, and they make songs. You know, there's a lot of songs in Persian and Urdu and stuff like that about Zulika and Yusuf. You know, talking about the love of Zulika and Yusuf. It's folklore. People believe it. But it's not true. It's not. There's no basis, that for such to believe. That's not correct. So the wife of the Aziz, she desired Yusuf a lot, and so she tried to seduce him, and so she locked the doors. Right? When the Aziz is gone out, and she's at home alone in the house with Yusuf. She locked the doors, and then she gone out to Yusuf. Come, and she wants to seduce. So Yusuf alayhi salam, he sought refuge. He realized the cunningness for the woman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed women with this special ability that they can, they can really toss a blindfold over their man. They're good at it. They can do this. Yeah, the women can mess with our head quick. It's not because we're weak, but because that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it. He made the women so alluring, or made the women alluring to the man. A woman is alluring to a man. That's how it is. I mean, Allah made them like that. They're alluring to the man. So there's no fault of theirs or anything negative on their part. You understand? Allah made them like that. That's how it is. True. Because the truth is true. Allah make them like, it's not their fault that they are alluring. Allah made them alluring to us. All right. So sometimes we can get carried away. We gotta watch ourselves. That's what the Prophet said. Fattaku dunya, fattaku nisa. Beware of the dunya, beware of the women. Because the dunya is alluring, and women are alluring. Right? The dunya is alluring. It could make you lose yourself. So you run after the whole dunya and forget, lose your soul, as I said. So you have to be, be careful. Utilize the dunya, benefit from it, but don't let it take you out. Right? So we have to be aware of that. And so, she, a woman, she wants, but she wants what she wants. Class. I mean, she's one track when it comes to stuff like that. She wants it, she's gonna get it. All right. So she's coming after Yusuf. So that the only way you can seek refuge from Allah, because it's Shaitan who is pushing that. Shaitan is the one who pushing that, and so he seek refuge. So Yusuf, he tried to reason with her first. He started seeking refuge with Allah. He seek refuge with Allah. To protect. Then he tries to reason with her. He says, "Innahu Rabbi ahsana mathwaya." Right now, the more than one understanding in relation to this. Right, there are two basic understanding. That one is that the pronoun here, right? Innahu, the pronoun here, that it refers back to Allah, and there's one that says it refers back to the master, right? And both are plausible. They both are plausible, and one is a little deeper than the other one. But most scholars say it refers to the master, right? So Yusuf said, reasoning with her. Look, I mean, my master, he the head of the household. He's been good to me. I mean, he was very honorable in dealing with me. He treated me good, give me a good place to live, and all of that. How you expect me to betray him? I can't do. What you thinking? I can't do that, right? So he's trying to reason with her, Innahu Rabbi ahsana mathwaya. And he's trying to get her to understand with this, and secondly, he's your husband, man. He's your husband. What you trying to do? He's your husband. So I mean, he's reasoning with her about, for example, his status in the house. I'm in the house of the master. I'm not the boss. You know, I'm just a servant in the house here. And one and two, that's your husband. And he treated me good. He was honorable in dealing with me, giving me good lodging and taking care of me and stuff like that. You know, and then, of course, he tells, إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الظَّالِمُونَ. And then he emphasized to her that the evildoers don't prosper. So after you sort of commit such an evil deed, I can never come out on top. I can never come out on top because evil don't pay. Yeah, it's temporary. So people think, you do bad and, you jump up one time, but it don't last. And you destroy yourself faster. So he says, evil don't prosper. Evil don't prosper. إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الظَّالِمُونَ. The evildoers don't prosper. Right? Even if they look good in this life and the hereafter, they're dead, they're finished. They burn in the hellfire. So, you should, try to push, after seeking refuge with Allah, that Allah would protect him, from that. He tried to reason with her to help her understand and stuff. But of course, her mind was fixed, and inshallah, we continue this next session. After this next session, inshallah. Any quick question before we wrap up?
Yes, Imam.
No.
The woman herself, her father, was it the king?
No, her husband was the Aziz. He was a chief minister of finance. He was in charge of all the stores of Egypt, and started a position that Yusuf himself inherited.
So when Yusuf alayhi salam disputed her act of trying to force herself on him, she went to this one that you just mentioned. I thought it was the king. I thought she went to her father.
No.
He did this, that, and third. Got Yusuf locked up.
No, we're jumping a little ahead of ourselves. We haven't reached.
Okay, all right.
We just reached that one. We haven't reached there yet.
Yeah, you said that he tried to kill the woman.
Yeah.
He called a lot of guidance first, or did he try to reason with her first?
No, he said, Ma'ad Allah. First, that's his first response.
Right.
Ma'ad Allah. He seek refuge. May Allah protect me from this time. So he sought his refuge with Allah first. Then he tried to see if he can reason with her to understand why he refused it. But of course, as I said, her mind was fixed. Right? Now.
Yeah, my question is, the Egypt, is it the same Egypt or is different Egypt? Is it the same Egypt?
Same Egypt. Yeah, it's the land of the pharaohs.
Okay.
Right? They said that according to Judeo-Christian teaching scriptures, that the Amalekite, or the Amalekites, as they call them, the Amalekite had controlled Egypt at that point, and it was one of the Amalekite kings, pharaohs, who was head of Egypt at the time of Yusuf, because the Amalekite they had at one point they had conquered Egypt, and they ruled Egypt for a while before they were overthrown, and the Egyptians took back over.
So there were no pharaohs in existence at the time.
That was after.
Yeah, there was king. Yeah, there was
There
a
were
king.
pharaohs?
Yeah, pharaohs. Yes.
I see.
The pharaoh is the title for the king in Egypt. So we call them pharaohs.
Yeah.
Just like in Abyssinia, in Ethiopia, the kings or the rulers of emperors of I think it was called Negus. Negus, yes. Yeah.
Like Pharaoh.
Yeah, it's like Pharaoh. The title, the title they had, that was the title that they had. So the title that they have been in Persia, they used to call them emperors. Forget the title, the word, and I think I don't call it. So that's basically what happened. There were, but it said that according to, as I said, the Egyptian sources said that during the time of Yusuf, it was the Malachites was ruling Egypt at the time, right? Because we now say the Amalekite. They were ruling Egypt at the time, and so because they had conquered Egypt, and they were ruling Egypt at the time. So the pharaohs were from at that time. That pharaoh was Amalekite. Yeah, was from the Amalekite.
Which item again? Today? Which item?
Hmm?
Which item?
What?
No, which item?
We did from 21 to 23 today. From 21 to 23.
Yeah. The Amalekite, what are those in authority, aristocrats and people like that?
No, the Amalekites were people that think just like Egyptians or just like the Phoenicians or just like those type of people. The Amalekites were a people, and they conquered Egypt. They said that they conquered Egypt. I don't remember all the details about it, but you'll find it in the Judeo-Christian sources. You study it. I don't remember all the details. It was a long time I studied that stuff. From Christian sources. It was a long time ago that I studied that. But they call them in the Judeo-Christian sources. They call them Amalekites. They call them Amalekites. In the Arabic sources, they call them Amalek, plural Amalekite. Right? So that people had taken over, because in those days, the different nations to try to conquer like the Babylonians, they overran an entire area, and even took over the Hebrews and carried them all back to Babylonia. That's why so much of them were wound up in to this day, many of them still remain in Iraq. Because there's a Babylon was Iraq. There's a Babylon was in Iraq. Yeah. Now, this was close to again. This last one.
You mentioned a believer becomes a Muslim first, a movement second, and a Muslim first.
Yeah.
There's different levels.
Yeah, different levels of deen. They're all part of deen. Deen that's 3 levels. Based on the hadith of Jibril alayhi salatu wasalam. Right? Remember the hadith of Jibril? When Jibril came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam on that day, and he asked the Prophet, Mal Islam. And the Prophet explained. Then he says, Mal Iman. And the Prophet explained. And then he says, Mal Ihsan. And the Prophet explained. And he went on like that. And when he finished and he left, the Prophet says, Dhalikum Jibril atakum liyu'allimukum deenukum. That was Jibril who came to teach you your deen. So we know that these are levels of deen.
What is Salihin?
Yeah, you find it in Riyadh al-Salihin. You also find it. You find it in Arba'in al-Nawawi.
No, he's asking what is the meaning?
Riyadh al-Salihin.
No, what is
Meaning.
the Salihin?
Salihin are the righteous ones.
Where do they rate that level? Read it.
Huh?
Where are they on the level of 3.9?
I said the Muslim, Mu'min, Muhsin. These are the terms that was used in the Hadith Jibril.
What is Salihin?
Salihin are righteous people, yes.
You want to know where they fit in
No,
there?
what I'm saying, he asked him, would they be Mukmin or Muksin?
They're Mu'minin, they're any people who do good. The Muhsin, the Salih is the person that, so believers are Salihin, do the right, any people who does righteousness. طيب سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك.
Assalamu alaikum.